American classic and one of the most iconic coins in history. It's been more than 80 years since the last Buffalo nickel coin was struck. But now, for a limited time only, full 1-pound bags of original U.S. government-struck Buffalo nickels are being released to the public. That's right, you can own a full pound of 1920 to 1938 classic American Buffalo nickel coins, all in very good collector condition, with fully visible dates and mint marks, guaranteed. Call 1-800-895-7267 now to secure a full pound of collector's grade U.S. Buffalo nickels struck during the Roaring '20s and the Great Depression. Plus, receive a bonus American collector's pack valued at over $10, free with every order. Call now, 1-800-895-7267 to secure your full pound bag of Buffalo nickels before they're gone. 1-800-895-7267. That's 1-800-895-7267.
Take the battle to the ballot box. That's been the message since the attack at the home of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi Friday, leaving the Speaker's husband with a fractured skull by an assailant who was allegedly saying, "Where's Nancy?" The same chant used during the violent January 6th insurrection in Baltimore, Maryland Saturday, where Vice President Harris was campaigning for Democratic gubernatorial candidate Wes Moore. Harris gave her own version of "When they go low, we go high," but with more urgency. Authorities say the suspect in the hammer attack on 82-year-old Paul Pelosi could face attempted homicide charges. Vehicle thefts in Portland are on track to reach well over 10,000.
So they're like politicized, and they don't even know that they haven't interviewed the guy who attacked
Part of a
them.
nationwide trend that accelerated during the coronavirus pandemic. In Portland, the brazenness of the crimes, inattention from the police, and the desperation of residents who suddenly find themselves missing one of their most valuable possessions have led many to take matters into their own hands. Groups have popped up, grown around the country as vehicle thefts have soared. To fight back, neighbors share pictures of license plates, keep watch during commutes to work,
Are you
and
doing
look
live?
online for reports of stolen vehicles.
Or no?
Nah, I mean, you might need
Crew
the...
guitarist
Yeah, okay.
Mars is
Okay.
done rocking
Okay.
with the legendary band on tour. Mars,
should,
co-founder and lead guitarist of the heavy metal
died?
band
Hold on.
Motley Crue for the past 41 years, has announced that due to his ongoing painful struggle with ankylosing spondylitis, he will no longer be able to tour with the band. For USA Radio,
Yeah, I read that
he's
he's be able to do
This is
studio
Joe
stuff.
Cordell.
Yeah, he'll
but,
probably do studio
Yeah.
stuff still, but he's
The
not on
prospect
tour.
of
all these guys
divorce
can't tour
becomes a
anymore
reality.
anyway. It's just
You
too
need a
much,
partner that
too
you
rigorous.
Can count on.
Yeah.
If you're a man in this situation, consider
You know, they'll do
contacting
that in
Cordell.
maybe
Cordell.
5 or
We've
6
helped
shows
men
or something like
navigate
that,
complex
and that's
legal
it. You
matters
know?
for 30 years.
Contact
They'll go, you know, do the Whiskey a Go-Go, and they'll do a
He'll
few
probably,
things.
yeah, he'll probably do something like that.
Yeah.
No representation is made that the quality
Big,
of legal
big,
services
big
to be
shows.
performed is
They have to
greater
be
than the quality
massive
of legal
shows.
services
Right.
performed by other lawyers.
Like Whiskey
Online at
Road.
CordellCordell.com. CordellCordell.com.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVBF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Week in Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WVBF. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I'm Joey Driscoll, and I am joined today by Dawn once again. Good morning, Dawn. How are you this
Good morning, Joey. How you doing on this fine Sunday morning?
Sunday morning, yes. Sun's not out yet, but but yes, Sunday morning.
That's something that...
Hopefully the sun will come out shortly.
That's something that we all miss in the summer months because around 7 a.m. the sun is up. Sun's up earlier than, say, 5.
Yeah.
So it feels like you're getting cheated when you get into the fall months. And then went to November, on Tuesday? It's November, I believe.
Yeah.
So 2 more months left of the year, and then we're in the crisp of January.
And you're talking about late November or in December where it doesn't get light out for another, closer to 8.
Oh, 7:30.
7:30, 8 o'clock.
Well, it happens to be a little
It's a little
foggy
foggy
out, so
outside
if any
too.
kind of any kind of a sunbeam is not penetrating the earth right now because of that. But it's pretty dark in the morning. You do notice it at the end of August a little bit, more in September, and definitely more in October.
Yeah.
But it's just part of living in New England. I mean, if you lived in Alaska, you'd have sunlight most of the day and night during the summer, and then no sunlight.
Yeah.
2 hours of sunlight in the winter months. So it's all about getting used. And then when the clocks change, that's going to be a big transition. And I think that's the first Saturday in November. So that will be probably That'll probably be next Saturday.
Very soon, yes.
Yeah, a week from yesterday, I believe, is when they swap the clocks back. It's usually the first Saturday in September.
Yeah, very soon.
Yeah.
So, our weather here for today, we have 33 degrees in Taunton. Not Taunton, sorry. Middleboro, 33 degrees in Middleboro this morning. Foggy, and a high of 65 today. Hopefully it breaks and we get some nice weather this morning and going on throughout the day. Monday, 66 degrees, mostly sunny skies. Tuesday, 66 degrees and rain the forecast. And Wednesday, mostly sunny skies again, 68 degrees. So some pretty nice weather coming up in Middleboro. Taunton, 31 degrees. It's below freezing right now. 32 degrees is freezing. And it is foggy outside. 65 degrees for the high today. And Monday, again, 66 degrees. Tuesday, rain in the forecast, 65 degrees. Driscoll, North Dakota, 30 degrees. Right now, sunny skies. A high of 60 today. Tomorrow, in Driscoll, North Dakota, it is going to be 63 degrees with a low of 37. Driscoll, Texas, 50 degrees. A high of 83 today. Tomorrow, a high of 81. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, rain in the forecast. It's going to be in the 70s and up into the upper 80s as well towards the end of the week in Driscoll, Texas. So that is the weather for today. And I want to just mention we have a couple of blood drives coming up here in the next couple of weeks as we move into November. Yeah, we have quite a few blood drives as we move into November. If I can find it here. It's buried here under the community announcements. Don.
Yes.
Real quick. How was your week? Real quick.
It was all right.
I'm just trying to find my blood drives here. And
You didn't have your blood drives ready?
I can't seem to find them in here.
Oh my
in
God!
this
So you
community announcements folder that
yeah.
has quite a bit of stuff in it.
You
So
always
I
have your
have
blood drives
trying to
paperwork
find
ready,
it.
ready to go, ready to go.
Trying to find it. There it is.
Fumbling through your papers.
Buried
over
right in the middle.
And you thought I was gonna bail you out with some commentary.
Nope.
No.
Not today. Nope.
All
right, so we have a couple of blood drives coming up. Friday, November 11th, at Church of Our Savior, 60 Union Street in Middleboro, Massachusetts. That is 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday, November the 14th, at Coannet Community Health Center, 5 Wally Kruger Way, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday, November 15th, 2022, at Bridgewater State University, Dunn Suites, 131 Summer Street, Bridgewater, Massachusetts, 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. Friday, November 18th, Town Hall of Halifax, 499 Plymouth Street, Halifax, Massachusetts, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. That blood drive usually takes place inside of the Great Hall of the Halifax Town Hall. Wednesday, November 23rd, the day before Thanksgiving, there will be a blood drive at Rosebrook Event Center, 50 Rosebrook Place, number 1, in Wareham, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. So those are your blood drives for this morning. And again, it's extremely important that if you can give blood, to give blood. Over the past couple of weeks, we have been, or past couple of months actually, we've been running a PSA from the Red Cross talking about the low levels of blood that they have been dealing with over the past, not just this year, but throughout the past couple of years because of the pandemic and a few other different things as well. So it's important to give blood if you are able to. Don, you have some thoughts?
Again, I say this every time you do the blood drives. It's important that you do this. I'm really proud of you that you do take, you do go out of your way for this, for the blood drives. Let people know their locations and opportunities to give blood, because it's very important. And I think it's important that you continue to broadcast this, and you do. And it's just, you just do it like nonchalant. Whatever, we'll just do this, we'll do that. It just goes to show what kind of heart you have, what kind of person you are as far as thinking about other people first. You could talk about anything else, and I think you're big on that. And also, I think you had a lot to do with getting the food pantry in the door over here at WVBF. I'm not sure. I mean, you've been here since 2017, and I'm not sure. I'm sure other people who have worked here probably just talked to, and everyone else is real active with the community. But I think you had a first deal with the food pantry. I really think that was your baby, and you took it on. You got the people in here. I think you got a lot of exposure to the food pantry as far as a radio station in this area, considering this is the only radio station in Taunton and Middleboro. So I think anybody who's listening should look at you on that, I think, in my opinion, because you had Ray LaPre, you had a lot of people on behalf of the food pantry, you're doing the commercial forum, and that's been going on since the pandemic. And I think that was the right time to do it, because that's when people were most at need. So again, every time you say, "Hey Don, what do you think?" I'm just gonna throw you in the spotlight. Yeah. You know, I mean, when I'm proud of you, I'll do it. When I'm, and then when you're fumbling for your papers, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. That's what I do.
Thank you.
Yeah. But next time you'll have your blood drive paper ready, right? Right?
Yeah.
Be ready. Because I walk in here, right, and it's just like, I walk in here and I see Tony and I see Jim and I see everyone else here, and they got all the papers all ready to go on the thing, and I'm looking at it and you're sitting there fumbling. But that's all right. You're pretty quick too. You get a lot.
I'm
of
pretty
information.
quick. With
Yeah, you get a lot of information coming your way.
All right.
Consider you the tech guy here.
We've been talking about over the past past week or two about event in Rehoboth, a craft fair of sorts in Rehoboth. We've been talking about that. Well, there's a craft fair coming up in Middleboro on Saturday, November the 5th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. The annual Oak Point Fall/Holiday Craft Show inside of the Oak Point Clubhouse Grand Ballroom and Gym. The Oak Point Clubhouse is located at 200 Oak Point Drive in Middleboro. A beautiful ballroom that they have there. Definitely a fantastic, I've been saying this the past couple of weeks, a fantastic venue to have an event like this. There will be over 40 tables of handmade items such as jewelry, quilted items, outerwear, wreaths, woodworking, ornaments, and more. Most of the items and tables represent both the residents, clubs, and organizations of the Oak Point community. Admission to the craft show is free. So when you are buying stuff and going to this event, you are supporting the Oak Point community, which is extremely important. Again, we were talking about this last week. Buying local, extremely important. Contact Oak Point Social Director Mary Beth McKay at 508-947-3200. 5406, or you can email her at mmacKay@hometownamerica.net for more information. So that is the Oak Point Holiday Craft Show coming up in a couple of days, next Saturday. So that's what's coming up for November, for the first weekend in November. There's many other different things coming up for November as well, which we'll get to in the show today. I want to say good morning to our Facebook people who are watching. Pat Hussey's tuning in with us
all the way from Brentwood, New Hampshire. It must be cold up there, huh?
Yep. So shout out to him.
Hello, Patrick.
And shout out to all the other
my dear friend from I've known Patrick since I was 14, 15 years old. He's one of my best friends, and we've been through a lot together, and I'm glad he tunes in. We really don't get to see each other too much because, I mean, obviously we have our own lives, and he's way up in New Hampshire, and we're down here. But it's really good that he tunes in and kind of keep in touch that way. And it's funny. Are you going to do that music recommendation do this today, or is that for next week?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Can't promise anything.
Yeah, no, we were listening to something. I thought you had an angle here, so I don't know.
Yeah, so I was going to shout out all the Facebook people tuning in, and we're going to take a quick commercial break. It's 7:21 a.m. here at 14 Church Green in Taunton, Massachusetts, outside of our Taunton Federal Credit Union studios. It is currently 32 degrees outside. Very cold still. But hopefully it'll warm up in the coming hours. But yeah, 7:21 a.m. and we're going to take a quick commercial break. You're listening to Middleboro Review on WVBF 1530 AM, 99.7 FM. We will be right back. Okay, let's see here. 152.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles as a hobby. Our mission is to support those who have defended our country and freedoms. Our focus is to help veteran care facilities provide a warm meal, clothing, shelter, and guidance, or simply to say thank you and welcome home. We have members from nearly all 50 states and living abroad. Many members
Is this the last week you're doing the
armed forces, with several serving in combat areas now.
This is the last week you're doing
in many
Williams Trading Post?
charity events each
Yeah.
year. And as a non-profit organization,
well, for now.
Yeah.
And then in December.
charities.
Exactly.
To learn more about the combat
I
veteran
think this is the last week I'm doing.
and how you can
This is
join
the last
or
week
support,
for.
please visit
They might be closed already, right?
No, I don't think so.
.org.
This might be the last week for
Definitely the last week for that because
Spark Street.
why?
Well, for the 3-month cycle, I need to.
No, it did.
Each week,
What?
we present the latest
we
information
signed them up in
legal,
July.
and lifestyle issues that affect
Beginning
you
of July.
and your family. It's fascinating.
Beginning of July.
Well, you talked to him?
I
You
think.
gotta,
Yeah, I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow.
You gonna talk to him?
I'm gonna talk to him tomorrow.
well, keep playing his ads. Obviously, he wants it.
Yeah.
Saturday mornings
I'm
at
still in the 3-month cycle.
Oh, all right.
9 on AM 1530
But I need to talk to him.
99.7
Soon.
FM.
Like this week,
WBBF,
tomorrow.
your
You
should've talked to him
hometown
last
radio
week.
station.
Oh, it's okay. Because whatever. It's fun.
Spark Street Auto Body,
Okay.
located at 48 Spark
What am I
Street
doing
in
here?
Jackson, Massachusetts, offers the
what am
highest
I
quality
doing?
collision repair and complete auto service for your
What was
car.
I gonna do?
They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies.
I don't even
You should
remember.
reach them at 508
Oh, okay.
583 1495. They're open
I know what I want.
Monday through Thursday, 8 to 5, and 8 to 4 on Fridays. Call them today. You will not be disappointed. 508 583 1495.
Hi, this is Jim Larkin.
There was something
Hope you can
important.
join me every Sunday from noon to 2 o'clock here on
I
WBBF. The
wanted to
Sounds of the
talk.
Emerald Isle. We'll have some great Irish music, some folk, traditional, country, and
Well,
contemporary,
elections, yeah.
and sometimes some live singers in the studio. And to make you laugh, some Irish comedy. That's Sundays from noon to 2 right here on WBBF. 1530 Taunton, Middleboro, and on the internet at hometowntalkradio.com.
140. Just do commercial.
Hey, what's the name of Williams? Trading Post.
Williams Trading
Your
Post.
hometown radio station. And one of the things we like to do to support people in your hometown is to run community
That was yesterday's.
announcements.
Never mind.
If you do belong to a nonprofit group or organization, or if you're an official with a city or town government, send your community announcements along to our email address. It's safe, it's fast, and allows us to get right back to you if we have a question. Send your community announcements to WVBF1530 at hotmail.com. That's WVBF1530 at hotmail.com. Thank you for listening.
All right.
Your hometown radio station is AM 1530, WVBF, and 99.7 FM.
All right. Three, 2, 0, enter. Come on, there we go. Alright. And we're back here on Middleboro in Review as I turn down the music. It is 7:27 a.m. and quick programming schedule note here. We do these, try to do these every week, try to do this every other week. I'm going to try to do these every week. Starting here in November, try to do that every week. So, programming note after us, 8 o'clock, 8:05 actually, after the news, is Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vancross. The program we have today is Strengthen That Which Remaineth, is the name of today's program. 8:30 we have the Rosary. 9 o'clock we have the Medicare Moment with Martha program. At 9:30 we have Keys of the Kingdom with Pastor Naomi Burton. At 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock, the TIC network, the Talking Information Center, will be doing an hour of that. And then we come back with the second half of our Sunday schedule, which starts with Musical Odyssey with Ed Sutka. Today's program, the Macabre in Music. And there will be a lot of great classical music for you on that show today. 12 to 2 o'clock, we have Sounds of the Emerald Isle with Jim Larkin. And to finish off the day, 2 to 3 o'clock, Stand Up Strong with Ed Miller and Bishop Tony Branch. I have to always remember to say that because Don will say something.
Well, everyone else says it.
Yes, I know. Everyone does say
Everyone else says it. Why shouldn't you?
So I will say it as well. But sometimes I forget, and Don likes to remind me.
Even when Chris Keach does the commercials advertising that show, he says Bishop Tony Branch.
He does.
So
I will
say what he
I
says.
will do that.
Yeah. I'll give you the hairy eyeball from the side of the
I will
table.
do that.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next topic, and we're talking about this, quite a bit, because we are in election season and early voting is in full swing, and it's good to keep everyone in the loop and get the information out there for early voting dates and where to vote. First, in Taunton for early voting. Again, early voting is going to be running through October 22nd to the 4th of November. So you still have a couple of more days for early voting. At Taunton City Hall Council Chambers in Taunton is where the early voting in Taunton will take place. The next early voting date is going to be today, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Tomorrow, October 31st, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Tuesday, November 1st, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. Wednesday, November 2nd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Thursday, November the 3rd, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Friday, November 4th, 8 a.m. to noon. So that is what is going on for the next couple of days with early voting. Still have a full week pretty much to do early voting. The last day to submit votes by mail and absentee by mail ballot applications will be Tuesday at 5 p.m., Tuesday, November the 1st. Last day to vote absentee in person will be the day before the elections, November 7th at noon. If you have questions, you can call the Taunton Elections Department at 508-821-1044. And an additional note for Taunton residents. Taunton residents are advised that the City Council and committee meetings scheduled for Tuesday, November 8th will be moved to Monday, November 7th at 7:30 a.m. instead. So that is what is going on in Taunton for early voting. In Middleboro for early voting will take place at the Middleboro Town Hall at 10 Nickerson Avenue inside of the Select Board meeting room. And the remaining early voting days and times are as follows. Monday, October 31st, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tuesday, November 1st, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. Wednesday, November 2nd, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. Thursday, November 3rd, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. And Friday, November 4th, 8:45 a.m. to 5 p.m. And again, Election Day is November the 8th, 2022. So that is coming up quite quickly. And again, I just wanted to mention the early voting. We'll mention it again on Thursday as well. So yeah, done.
Yes.
Thoughts? I'm gonna ask you pretty much.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you pretty much every single topic we talk about for your thoughts.
Make sure I'm paying attention over there.
Except for sports.
Right.
Except for sports, I'll leave you alone with that because I know you're not big into sports.
Yeah, not into sports at all.
Anyway.
Yeah, early voting. Yay. It's good that you. I think everyone, everybody at VBF is pretty much saying this, right?
Yeah.
Announcing this. Yeah, it's important to do that. Let people know what's going on. A lot of people out of town, or they just can't make voting day. It's iffy for me. I work for an oil company, and I got to try to make sure I'm in Middleboro by 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, whenever time the polls close. A couple times I've gotten close because you gotta go out and you gotta deliver heating oil for people who need it, and that's my job. So I gotta make sure everyone's all set, and then sometimes early voting's good. A friend of mine down in Pennsylvania, he's down in Florida now. He did his early voting already. He actually told me he did his cast his ballot yesterday, so he was happy about that. So yeah, whatever works. You just want everyone, to be involved in the process, and I think the more people vote, the better. It's our country. It's people have to be represented. Everybody, all walks of life, and that's good.
Yes.
How's that for a response?
And it's a really good response.
Was that a good response?
That's a very good response.
So
yeah.
I wasn't sleeping over there, right?
That's a very good response.
Yeah.
So, we have another thing I want to talk about here. I saw this on the community announcements folder and caught my eye. And I wanted to maybe mention this and talk about this a little bit. Mattress recycling changes will be coming. As of November 1st, which is going to be Tuesday, Massachusetts law will require that mattresses cannot be disposed of in the trash and must be recycled or donated for reuse. So I saw this again in the community announcements folder. And Don, you have
No, being in the removal business for years, mattress has always been a problem.
Yeah.
And it's big money to get rid of mattresses on the commercial level. With that, I gotta pay. I can't go to the local dump with a dump sticker because I'm a commercial company, so I have to pay commercial rates. And there are mattress companies out there that do that, but they've been doing that all along.
Yeah.
They haven't been entering landfills in 10, 15 years. They've always had to pay separate for mattresses. But the prices has gone up. And there are facilities out there that don't want to deal with them. So they'll charge as much as $100 to get rid of a mattress. That's insane. But I think the average price to get rid of a mattress is $40. There might be there's a place I know of that's $25. And I'm not going to let anyone know who that is. I'll give the guy. But so what they do with it, as far as the recycling process, is they have to strip the mattress down. They have to pull the box spring, and they have to separate the coils, the metal coils, with the foam and the box and everything else, and recycle it that way. Because if a mattress is just a coil with fabric around it and stuffing, so they have to kind of peel it apart, and that's because it just takes too much room. You can't bury it. Even in a recycling situation, you have to disassemble it. And when I say I do a removal job, I do a clean out, I try to bust everything up as far as I do my own recycling in a way, because I don't throw furniture in whole. I have, if I can bust it up, I will. The only thing I can't really take apart is a couch. It's just too cumbersome, takes too long. But yeah, my customers will see that.
Yeah.
I'll bust everything up, and that's just the only way to roll. I mean, because in a way, if you throw things in whole, say you throw a whole dresser in, and you throw a whole bureau in, and you don't try to tighten the load up for them, it's just a ripoff. In my eyes, it's a ripoff, and I know in the customer's eyes it'll be a ripoff.
Yeah.
So you try to tighten the truck up as much as you can, give them a good load for the money, and they feel better about it. And that's why I have a customer base that continues to call me, because that's the deal, So, but as far as mattresses, in my expert opinion, it's going to be money to get rid of it. And I think maybe mattresses are expensive enough to buy, but again, I've said this before, I think a lot of these companies should have a robust recycling program as far as paints, as far as televisions and appliances. Okay, appliances you can just take to the scrap yard and get rid of them. They'll take them. Okay, you can get money for them, whatever.
Yeah.
But as far as paying big money to get rid of this stuff. It's just they need to have a robust recycling plan, these companies, because a lot of people will, I mean, you hate to see it. Mess movers in Middleboro, the reason they're set up is because people illegally dump. They're not going to pay. They're not going to pay $50. Some people out there won't pay $50, and they'll just pull over some side roads and they'll throw it out of their car, throw it in the back of their truck, and drive off.
Yeah.
And now it's the town's problem, or it's the neighborhood's problem. All right, yeah, that person should be prosecuted, in my opinion. Done.
Yes.
Put them in jail,
Yeah.
fine them, but they're getting away with it because they don't want to pay the $50. They don't want to pay the $100. It is a lot of money to get rid of a mattress.
Yeah.
If you pay $1,000 for a mattress and you got to turn around and recycle it for $100, I think the companies who make the mattress should have their own robust recycling program. Even if it's a reduced cost to get rid of it. Maybe it's a trade-in to buy a new mattress. Bring your old mattress in and we'll give you a new one. We'll give you a certain amount. People like that. They'll make them. A lot of people don't buy mattresses. A lot of people sit on the old mattresses because it's just one of those items that it's just kind of too expensive to buy. So I'll just sit on this lumpy mattress for a couple more years. But if there was a trade-in program that they could come in, give them the old mattress, maybe give them a few bucks off the new one, they'll do it.
And there's a couple of options on how to recycle mattresses in Taunton as of Tuesday, November 1st. Option number 1 is you can call Hand Up at 774-271-8744 to schedule curbside pickup of mattresses and box spring or schedule pickup online. Mattresses and box springs must be set out at the curb by 8:30 a.m. on pickup day. Option 2 is you can drop off the mattresses and box springs at the Taunton Convenience Center, which is at 340 East Britannia Street. The Convenience Center hours: Wednesdays 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Fridays 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., and Saturdays 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Option 1 or 2 is a $35 fee per mattress or box spring. Mattresses cannot be excessively wet, heavy, soiled, or contain mold or bed bugs. In addition to the changes with the mattresses, starting on November 1st, textiles will also be required to be recycled. The Taunton Public Schools has been partnering with Bay State Textiles to provide an outlet for textile recycling and fundraising for the city's public school system. Bay State Textile donation boxes are located outside of each Taunton public school and accessible for public use. For every ton of textiles collected, Taunton Schools receives a rebate of $100. Clean, dry, footwear, clothing, accessories, linens, stuffed animals, etc. are acceptable items for recycling as well. Visit BayStateTextiles.com for more information about the program or to locate a donation box. Textiles cannot be set out curbside in the city recycling carts. For more information regarding textile recycling or the city's solid waste and recycling services, please refer to the city's website at taunton-ma.gov. So that's another important thing as well that is a part of mattresses as well, that also on November 1st, textiles, how to get rid of textiles will also be changing as well.
The only thing I don't like about those drop boxes, because they're not supervised, and anybody could pull up and bring about 10, 15 green trash bags, okay, and say, hey, I'm donating this. But meanwhile, it's old, crappy clothes that no one will ever wear. It's
yeah.
and they pretend like they're recycling it. Oh, look at me, I'm recycling, and they're really just dumping their crap. I've worked for a company where I cleaned the trails out, and it was a lot of it was just crap. It was just, so those drop boxes, they're good. But it's just like, I think a lot of people take advantage of it. And I think as far as it's hard to get a donation system going because you don't have people to monitor what comes in. Mm-hmm. But then there's a lot people out there who are dishonest, and they'll come in and they'll put like moldy, soiled, moldy comforters and everything like that, or blankets, old clothes, ripped clothes, just stuff. And considering, especially in the Taunton area, I mean, each trash bag has a cost involved.
Yep.
People are always looking for the angle to get rid of their stuff, and they'll go in with saying, "Oh, I'm donating all this stuff. It's good. Ain't it good? It looks good for me. It looks good to them." They're gonna go in with that mindset, and meanwhile, the volunteers will take all that apart, take it out of the box, and then find out that it's not. It's just they can't use any of it, and it smells, and it's moldy, and it's this and that and the other thing, and then they got to pay to get rid of it. So I never thought drop boxes were the way to go, as far as there's a lot of fraud in the drop box situation.
7:45 a.m. I'm Joey Driscoll. I'm joined by Don. We're going to take a quick commercial break. It is October 30th, 2022. It is Sunday morning. You're listening to Middleboro in Review on 1530 a.m., 99.7 FM. We will be right back after these messages. All right.
I got my COVID-19.
All right, now my important stuff out of the way, so we can do our musical recommendation next.
Oh, a commercial I like. This is about facts. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Millions of doses have already been given in the
those
States,
drop
vaccines
boxes
have the most
big
intensive safety
scam.
monitoring in U.S. history.
People want to get rid of
People from
15,
different
20
races,
bags or something,
ages,
and they don't want to pay.
ethnicities
They don't want to pay
participated in large
$3
clinical
a
trials
bag.
around the
They
world to
will
make
do
sure
that.
this vaccine worked for all kinds of people. The amount of time and effort dedicated to developing
And
these
then people
vaccines was huge.
will just throw trash in it.
Scientists use existing
Yeah.
They don't
research
care.
and technology.
They'll make
can
it.
get
They'll
the
have like
vaccines
4 bags of
developed
clothes, and
quickly
they'll have
and
6
safely
bags of
without any
household trash. I've seen household
For more
trash.
information, use a reliable source like the CDC website.
And
It's just a dumping ground. It's unsanitary.
with
It's
those
I don't know.
with those drop boxes, sometimes they don't get emptied right away.
Yeah.
And if they get overfilled, then people will just leave trash right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of it, and it'll become a
Hi
problem.
everybody,
Yeah.
Tony Lopes here, and
That's
just want to
another issue.
remind everyone that you can listen every Tuesday to Coffee with Tony from 9 to 12. And
All right,
now an extra treat.
You wanted to talk about the Allman Brothers?
No. What
What
you
do you
just
want to
do?
talk
From
about?
9 to 11.
No. Why don't you do the?
Tuesday, 9 to 12.
You want my phone for some information, but why don't we just do the Neil Young? The Neil
Neil
Diamond.
Diamond?
Yeah, do those 4 songs.
Oh,
Those 2 covers.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. Yeah, let me.
Get my phone there and get a little info. Unless you can get info off the website. You need my phone?
I don't need it. No, I don't really need it. Neil Diamond.
DePaul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the residents
Neil
of the towns of
Diamond.
Middleboro, Lakeville, Carver, and Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level.
I think this is another phone that Danny has, because
Directly across the
it has a
street from
dot
Sacred
next to
Heart
it,
Church.
and Bill has a dot next to it too, so it means he's got 2 phones.
At this time, we serve
Oh.
approximately 500 families in our service area.
So, well,
With
just
many of them
only
come
2
to
that I
us
know
for
have
various
dots
types
next
of
to them.
aid. This can take many forms. It includes
so you
many
got
of the
that,
following programs:
and then
utilities
solitary.
and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svdbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
152.
Combat Veteran Motorcycle
113.
Association is an association of combat veterans from all branches of the United States Armed Forces who ride motorcycles.
I'll have about
as a
5 minutes to talk about our
those who have defended our country and freedoms.
music
Our
recommendations.
focus is to help veteran
Just
care
about-
facilities provide a
I want to have
warm
some
meal,
time to talk
clothing,
about today in
shelter,
history.
and guidance. Or
I wanna-
simply to
I
say
wanna
thank
get
you
off the air
when
at
you
8.
welcome home.
Yeah,
From the
that's
Not
what he's
8:01.
supposed, that's when he's supposed to get out the air.
Yeah.
Many members
Not
continue to
8:01 or
serve in our armed
8:02.
forces.
So.
No one's ever said anything about that going over? You never got any
No,
talking to like
no one
Chris or
ever says
anybody?
it. No one ever says
Variety
anything.
events
No.
each year, And as a
I mean, if you're going like
organization,
5 minutes
donating to
over, then that's a
veterans
problem.
Yeah, I'm surprised. You know, well, then
facilities
whatever.
and veteran charities. To learn more,
But I mean,
It's not really a problem if you're going a minute over.
Well, but you're supposed
Sometimes
to.
it happens.
You're supposed to do the ID right at 8. That's
Yeah.
the whole. That's
Yes,
that's the
yes.
sticking point. If
Yes.
you're going over, you're not doing the ID at 8,
Yes.
and that's the problem.
Yes, I understand. Yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Williams Trading Post is now open for their fall season. At Williams Trading Post, you can find everything you need for the season, like pumpkins, mums, and much more. They also have an antique shop where you can find the perfect gift. Call them at 508-947-1598 or visit them at 556 Wareham Street in Middleboro, Massachusetts.
I'm recording new Ask Your Veterans Agent open and promo before Thanksgiving, and that's probably when I'm gonna record the new Williams Trading Post ad for
Christmas tree.
December. Yep, for the Christmas
So this is the
trees.
last trading post today, right?
Yeah.
Because you gotta.
Yeah,
it's
because
the-
it'll be closed in November.
Well, it's the week before December. They
Yeah.
start doing the trees. You
Yes.
can't wait till December. You gotta.
No, I gotta before Thanksgiving. I gotta,
Yeah, right.
I gotta make sure I hit the ads in and all set to roll.
Yep.
Okay. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and we're back here on Middleboro in Review. As I turn down the music, here it is 7:50 a.m. We are about an hour and a half away from the start of another Sunday football schedule because the NFL is in London this morning, our time, 9:30 a.m. our time, and it's going to be another Jacksonville Jaguars game. I don't know who their opponent is off the top of my head. Let me look that up. Jacksonville versus the Broncos this morning, 9:30 a.m. our time, or in London it will be 2:30 London time. So, or British time, 2:30 p.m. this afternoon in Britain, or in the afternoon in Britain, and our time 9:30 a.m. So another Sunday morning football game for people to watch. The Patriots take on the Jets at 1 p.m. Today as well. So Jets, Patriots today as well. So that is going to be a lot of different things going on with the NFL. All right, our next thing I want to talk about is our music recommendations. We like to do these every once in a while. We've been doing these a little bit more often because there's a lot of interesting music we've been listening to, right, Don?
You know what I'd love to get is Jim DuPont to sit here with us on these, because
Yeah.
we're talking about a encyclopedia of knowledge when it comes to music, especially the 60s and 70s, and Jim Larkin too. Jim Larkin would know everything about these songs we're talking about. He wouldn't need to look at and read up on the cheat sheet because he'd know it in his head.
Yeah.
So that would be a big treat to have those guys sit on a music recommendation and just have them here. But wee hours in the mornings kind of tough sell for a lot of things. But,
Yeah, it is, yes.
But what do you got today, Joey? We did listen to a series of songs this morning, and I had a recommendation, but the songs you played blew them out of the water. So we're going to go with your recommendations, your 4 songs.
So we have 4 songs by 2 artists. 4 songs by 3 artists.
Yep.
There we go. By 3 artists. And they're all very good. The first song I'm going to talk about is Kentucky Woman. This is a song that was written and originally recorded in 1967 by Neil Diamond. It is fantastic. The song is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
And it was re-recorded, or covered by Deep Purple on their first or second album.
Does it say? Shades of Deep Purple or Deep Purple album?
Oh, no, here we go.
1968.
Recorded on their 1968 album.
Year later. Yep.
Yeah, so a year later.
Yep.
Book of Taliesin.
Okay.
That is their second studio album. Yeah, so they re-recorded it. That version is a really good version as well. Both versions, again, very good.
There is a difference in the version because
There's
the
huge
Neil,
difference.
Yeah,
in the
well, the
version.
Neil Diamond is acoustic, pretty much acoustic, folky in a way, and the Deep Purple a year later is psychedelia. It's a lot of keyboards, a lot of organ, hence John Lord, and then Richie Blackmore's guitar solo, sort of a rock piece in a way. They took an acoustic piece, folk acoustic, turned it into a rock song. Psychedelia in a way too. That Book of Taliesin album, Deep Purple, was
very psychedelic.
And they had the first lead singer, Rod Evans, and the first bass player, Nick Simfer, was on that album, which kind of made it different because anybody who knows Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, Highway Star, those were two different players. Those two different. There was another bass player, Roger Glover, and there was another lead vocalist, Ian Gillan. So that was in a different band by itself.
Ian Gillan, even after Ian Gillan joined the band, the song was still on the set list
Kentucky
for a little
Woman.
bit. Yeah,
that and Hush.
Yes.
Hush was another one that was a Mark I Deep Purple with Nick Simfer and Rod Evans.
And Ian did those songs for a little bit until, right till after 1969, 1970, and then at least Kentucky Woman was...
Well, 1970 was when Ian Gillan joined the band.
Yeah, 1969. Well, he joined the band in the summer of 69.
Okay.
Actually.
Yeah.
70 was when the first album came out with Ian Gillan.
The fourth Deep Purple album.
Fourth Deep Purple album.
In rock, right?
In rock.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And Kentucky Woman has not been on the set list since 1969. Since then. Hush, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh, I've seen him do Hush live.
Yeah, Hush has been in there
with
probably
Ian Gillan and
most recently.
Right, Ian Gillan. Back in 2002, I think I've seen that song.
Really?
With Steve Morse, Ian Gillan, Roger Glover, Don Airey, and that lineup there.
And real quick, Solitary Man, another great song by Neil Diamond. That song came out in 1966, so a year earlier than Kentucky Woman. This song was covered by a lot of different people. Jay and the Americans, Johnny Cash, Johnny Rivers, Cliff Richard, and much more. B.J. Thomas as well covered it. So many different people covered this song, Solitary Man. But the most famous version, of course, is the Johnny Cash version. He covered it as the title track for his third album under the American Recordings label, American 3, Solitary Man, in 2000. There are guest vocals in that song. Tom Petty, actually, as guest vocals there. The recording received a Grammy Award for Best Male Country Vocal Performance. His recording of the song was used in the penultimate episode of Stargate Atlantis. And in the 17th episode of the 5th season of Criminal Minds. And in Stargate Atlantis, the song was used twice during the same episode. So yeah, big song for Neil Diamond, and very good song and cover by Johnny Cash.
That was his last album, right? The American 3? Before he passed?
I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, though.
Right. The Neil Diamond version of that song, Solitary Man, gives it a flavor because of the horns. They have the horns.
Yeah,
That just makes the
absolutely.
song. I love the Johnny Cash version too, but and I'm not taking anything away from Johnny Cash, but the Neil Diamond version of that song can't be beat. It's just
Absolutely, yeah.
it's just perfect, and I think anybody who does a cover, do it out of respect. Will do it, out of respect for the original artist. So
All right, we have 40 seconds. Let's do these today in histories real quick. 1941, President Roosevelt approves a $1 billion in land lease aid to the Allied nations. 1945, Jackie Robinson of the Kansas City Monarchs signs a contract for the Brooklyn Dodgers, breaking the baseball color line. 1961, the Soviet Union detonates the Tsar Bomba, the most powerful explosive device ever detonated. Birthdays on this day: 1735, John Adams, American lawyer and politician. He was the second president of the United States. 1896, Ruth Gordon, American actress and screenwriter. 1911, Ruth Hussey, American actress. And Grace Slick, 1939, American singer-songwriter and model. And 1973, Edge, Canadian wrestler and actor for the WWE. And we will be back next week. I'm Joey Driscoll, and I'm joined by Don, or was joined by Don on this Sunday morning once again. And we'll be back next week. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend and a great week. Hi, Barry.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union studios at 14 Church Green, we are AM
Hi, everybody.
1530.